This is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. Today we are in Daniel chapter 6. I'm going to read the first 3 verses here in a second, but let's remember where we left off. The Babylonian Empire is out now. The Mede-Persian Empire is in, and Darius is at the helm. He is the monarch leading the empire, which, you just got to say this, by the way, occurs exactly as predicted in Nebuchadnezzar's first dream. I guess that's really no surprise, but here's how the text reads today. It says, "It pleased Darius, the king, to set over the kingdom 120 satraps." So a satrap was like a governor. And basically what he has done is he's divided the entire empire into 120 of these different little provinces and placed governors over them, to be throughout the whole kingdom. And over these high officials, he placed 3 men, one of whom which was Daniel, whom these satraps should give account to, so that the king might suffer no loss. So in other words, 120 governors, and over them 3 high officials, one of which was Daniel. Then this Daniel became distinguished above all the other high officials and satraps, because an excellent spirit was about him, and the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. So guys, I think it's kind of funny how things change around Daniel, but Daniel's situation doesn't seem to change, and Daniel doesn't seem to change. He just kind of keeps plodding along, and what I love about him is how he continues to produce superior work. And no, fellas, Daniel is well over 70 years old, and he's still doing it better than everybody else. He's not nestled into his retirement plan at this point. You know, he's not out at the club playing golf or pickleball, smoking cigars and drinking scotch with the boys. No, he's not. This man is still in the game, and his work is as good or better than it ever was. In fact, he's doing his best work right now, in his old age, right? And it's so good, his work surpasses all of the best leaders in the Persian Empire. He outperforms all 120 governors in all the provinces and even some of the other high officials. Because guess what? There's a spirit about him. Fellas, this is the type of man God's men should aspire to be. We should be producing superior work that's superior to everybody else's. And we're not doing it for a promotion or power or prestige. Remember, we discovered in the last chapter that Daniel doesn't care about any of these things. He didn't want the purple or the chain or the promotion, so he's not motivated by those things. He knows something that all the other governors don't know. He works for God and not man. Therefore, regardless of his culture or the man he works for, he's going to produce the very best work, because his motivation and motivator is something that cannot be gained or taken away from him. Daniel works for only one man, and his pleasure. He is motivated by the pleasure of God. And therefore, he keeps improving because he works for the best guy, all right? So fellas, don't slouch at work today. Don't cut your day short and end up cutting yourself short. Get after it. Produce the very best. And don't do it to get something or to be something. Do it because you know something. You know God and his pleasure. I love you guys. I hope this motivated you today. If it has, share it with someone you know. And with that, I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.